Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and this week, and probably for the next couple of weeks, wanted to do basically like a little mini series on just like some marketing basics. In going through some of the survey data from our trends report, which cannot wait to share that with everybody. I am really excited about how that turned out, but just in going through some of the data, it seems like everyone kind of has maybe some different ideas about what marketing really is or is not. And I wanted to take this opportunity to sort of give generic's not the right word, but just some very broad strokes marketing terminology and sort of frames of reference that might help people better understand their marketing. Because I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it's like you went to college, maybe you took some business classes, more than likely you did political science or philosophy or something like that, and then went on to law school. So if you ever took a marketing course, it was likely an elective. It was maybe you just did like a free marketing course online or something, or maybe you read a marketing book or something, whatever the case is. And so maybe your frame of reference for marketing might be different. Obviously, like what I say is not going to be the gospel by any means, but I think that it's helpful to at least hear from someone in the industry explain what some industry terms mean. And where I wanted to start today is, very broadly speaking, what the different kinds of marketing are, because I think, especially lawyers, when they hear the term marketing, they think that it's just this all-encompassing term, and that if they work with a marketing company is going to just do all of these things. It's similar to maybe like a general practitioner or law firm, which we know doesn't exactly work out a lot of times, or at least it doesn't provide the same results as a specialized niche firm does. And so when we think about marketing, think about like in terms of buckets. There are several different marketing buckets that different types of marketing can go into. Like the first type of marketing bucket is more lead generation. And this is, I think, what most people find synonymous with marketing, where it's your search engine stuff, it's your paid ads, it's going out, finding cold leads, whether online or offline, and really just focusing all of your marketing on that. And that's going to be your most expensive marketing generally, because you are competing for what is usually very limited real estate. We've talked a lot about how, especially search engine marketing is just not where a solo or a small law firm should be spending their marketing dollars. But also it's very inconsistent, whether it's Google changing its algorithms at a moment's notice and tanking all of the rankings that you've invested so much in, or maybe the keywords change, or maybe more and more people are trying to buy ad space on a particular keyword for pay-per-click ads and stuff like that. So it can become very inconsistent. It can become very, very, very expensive, especially if you live in a super large city, a large metro area. So that's the first bucket, that lead generation bucket. But there is so much more to marketing than that. All right. Second marketing bucket is your content. All right. That's what we specialize in. Your content is going to be your blogs, your videos, your social media, your emails, your podcasting, whatever it is. It's the information that you're putting out. Even your website can be considered part of your content marketing, because it's the web copy that is emphasizing your overall message. It's your brand kind of goes into the content marketing side of things, the branding aspect of it. But branding is, and you'll hear this a lot, branding is way more than just a logo and a color scheme and a tagline, right? Your branding is that message that you are reiterating and repeating all the time, that you have, it's where you've planted your flag and what you're focusing on. So that's content. That's what's going to elevate your expertise. It's going to make sure that people identify who your firm is and what you're doing. It's also going to educate your audience. It's going to help drive those referrals. And that's the key, especially in the legal industry where referrals are so important. Referrals are preferred, and I've talked to several lawyers who have built their practice solely on referrals. So you can do it. You can build $1 million practice and more on just referrals, but it's all, and if you're going to do it, content marketing is where you're going to make that big impact. You're not going to get referrals generally from cold leads that you generated from SEO. It's just not going to happen. However, when you're nurturing those referral sources and you are consistently staying in touch with your audience, that's what's going to generate those referrals. That's what's going to make sure that people know who you are and how you help. Now, that takes me to the third bucket, which is networking. Because how are you going to initially grow that audience? How are you going to initially generate that awareness? How are you going to create those referral sources? It starts with networking, and networking can be, BNI, Chamber of Commerce, your bar association. Networking can also potentially be, events that you either sponsor or host or attend, and that there's a little bit of crossover there with lead generation and even content, but it's nurturing those relationships and really going out there, meeting people, boots on the ground. And it could be you, it could be just a dedicated position that you have at your firm, because I know some law firms who do that. They just have people who are dedicated to getting out there and nurturing those referral relationships. And that's really a form of networking. The last bucket is sort of that reputation management, reviews, that sort of thing. It's a very specific kind of marketing, but it's different from all of the others because it's that social proof. It's essentially other people doing the marketing for you. And what I mean by that is people are going to look at reviews. So let's say that someone refers your firm to someone else. They're going to do a couple of things. First, they're going to look you up online. They're going to check your website. And when I say that, yes, they're probably going to Google. They're probably going to put your firm into Google. That doesn't mean you have to focus on SEO. As long as someone can type your firm's name or your name into Google and your website comes up, that's all the SEO you need. And generally, that's pretty easy to achieve. So people are going to look you up online. They're going to look up your website. They're going to see what your messaging is. They're going to see what kind of content you have on your website. They're going to look at your social media profiles. They're going to see how active you are there. They might follow you. They might not. They're also going to look at reviews. They're going to look at Google reviews, Facebook reviews, maybe Yelp. That's going to be more for retail, consumer based, more in restaurants and stuff like that. But those reviews, especially if someone either does not have a direct referral or they want to really solidify that decision that you're the right person to work with, they're going to look for that extra social proof. So that's where reviews and that reputation management stuff really comes into prominence. And it can be a very effective part of your marketing. So those are your 4 buckets: lead generation, content marketing, networking, reviews. And the thing about that is there may be marketing companies out there, and there are some people that we compete with who can do all of those things for you. All right. We call them one-stop shops. The overall likelihood that that company is going to do all of those things well is very small. All right. Just like a law firm, especially a solo or a small firm who has like 5, 6, 7 different practice areas, the lawyer's not going to do all of those things well. And honestly, that lawyer probably doesn't even enjoy doing most of those things. So why treat vendors, marketing specifically for this example, any differently? But I mean, look, and looking at the survey data, that most of the respondents actually said they want to work with someone who is more of a one-stop shop. And look, I get it. There's a very convenient aspect to it. You don't want the additional task of trying to communicate with different vendors, keep up with different vendors. I get that. But if you are more focused on results and the ROI of the marketing that you're investing in, it makes more sense to work with a lead gen company, an SEO or a PPC company. It makes sense to then work with someone who focuses on content, and then also makes sense to focus or work with someone who just gets reviews for you. Obviously, you're going to do the networking yourself, or someone in your firm is going to do that for you. So you have maybe 3-4 different vendors who are doing something for you. It's not terrible, especially if the vendors all work together and they can communicate with each other without you having to be directly involved in every single conversation. I mean, I can speak from our experience. We're happy to work with other vendors along the way. We get other vendors access to websites or anything else that they need. It's generally not an issue. But again, I realize, you want a one-stop shop, you want a company that's going to do everything, but keep in mind, if you go that route, you are likely going to be frustrated with one or multiple aspects of the marketing. And that will, in the end up souring your opinion on that company. Doesn't mean that they did a bad job. Maybe they did great in your SEO, but they wrote terrible blogs, or they didn't really do a great job managing your social media, or they didn't get you as many reviews as they promised, whatever the case is. And so that's why we've taken the approach that we have. We're going to be the content specialists. We're going to do these few things within the realm of content marketing. We're going to do them well. And then we're going to leave the lead generation to more experts. We're going to leave the review gathering to more experts. So, it's just like how, if you decided to choose a single practice area or two, it's that same decision. You weren't going to serve your clientele the same way that you would have otherwise if you had kept five or six practice areas. So that's why you chose one or two, because you enjoy those things, you're good at those things, and that's the best way that you can serve your community. And it's the same situation with us. So keep that in mind. Hope that was a little bit enlightening for you guys, just to kind of see how marketing in general is broken down like that. Next week, we'll kind of dive a little bit deeper into some specific marketing terms that I just kind of gleaned from survey responses and just where there might be some confusion there. So I hope that was helpful. As always, if you have any questions about marketing strategy overall, I'm happy to answer them. Just feel free to reach out. You can email me directly at john, @spotlightbranding.com. I'm happy to have conversations with you guys. And yeah, it's going to do it. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.